Hello, fellas and ladies. This is gonna be a fun one, considering there's some, how do you say, misinformation around the way press can talk about this movie. Talking about Ballerina, or From the World of John Wick. Ballerina, which is an insane way to order that title. I don't get why, like, if it was like Ballerina from the World of John Wick, I'd be like, alright, that's a little lame, but like, why John Wick first? As if someone's gonna say Ballerina, I guess that's the end of the title, and then not go to the rest, and not like, they gotta make sure that audiences know this is John Wick, and then you can call it a Ballerina movie. There's some misinformation about the embargo. There's an idea out there that you were only allowed to like tweet a reaction if it was positive, which no. That can't be enforced. The wording is strange in the email. I'll definitely acknowledge that for sure, but to say all media attention on this movie must be positive or else it's not allowed is absolutely an exaggeration. Well, let's say I did like this movie, Lionsgate. Like the title suggests, Ballerina takes place in the world of John Wick, takes place in between 3 and 4, I believe, and follows Eve, the daughter of a hitman, one of the assassins in this weird assassin community, I suppose, who we see become indoctrinated into the assassin world, and she vows revenge on a community leader who murked her father. And I gotta say, I was really into this movie. I mean, I didn't watch that fucking show they made. I think the Continental. I'm not watching that show. Only Continental show I'm watching is The Studio, because Continental's the name of the studio in The Studio. Anyway, I do think that they are stretching John Wick out a little bit. As much as I loved every single movie, I think they're stretching out a little bit. But I will say with this movie, I think if you're a fan of this franchise, I think you'll be satisfied. It has the action that you expect. I do think that there is some elements missing, like Dan Laussen's cinematography. Yes, he is gone, and it is noticeable. But I still don't think the movie looks poor or anything like that. It's a downgrade in that sense, but from a choreography standpoint, it's very much John Wick. There has been a lot of talk about the, reshoots and how Len Wiseman, clearly, he was the director of this movie, but clearly reshoots happened with Chad Stahelski doing the action, and yeah, very clearly that's what happened, but who gives a fuck? It's still, that's what the movie is. I don't give a the action was sick. I don't care when they shot it in the schedule, and it was really cool. It really has that hand-to-hand grittiness of a John Wick action film. The action is dope. It's pretty in your face. It's really stylized. An element that I love they kept in is that, in the John Wick movies, the protagonist gets their ass whooped a lot. They get the shit kicked in often, even if they do end up, winning. It's more than just, a one-man army. And obviously, Ana de Armas has a huge shoes to fill, not being Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves is definitely the draw of these movies, but Ana de Armas fills those shoes in wonderfully. I think she was fantastic in this movie. She's got a very obvious on-screen presence that is so effective here, and not to the goofy way that Keanu and Chad Stahelski typically exploit. This movie is more its own beast in terms of how Ana de Armas acts. It's more self-serious. Not in necessarily a bad way, but it's definitely, if you're looking for Keanu, you're not going to get it, but she fills in the role pretty seamlessly. You'll be satisfied with this. I do got to mention Keanu here. He's here for the trailers. The way there's a scene that he fits into, and I was like, all right, I can get behind that. But then he has action sequences, and I'm just like, come on. It was very obviously not fitting in, but again, the action is what you come for in these movies, and it works. There's a scene where her and another girl just trading places, smashing plates over each other's head. It was hilarious. It was dope. Stuff with the flamethrower that she does, and I'm like, oh, that's so sick. I loved it. It was sick. She was awesome. The action in this movie works. No matter how, I don't care who shot it or when it was shot, it was sick. I'm seeing a couple of criticisms of this movie, calling the plot familiar, calling it cliche. And it is true. In the very beginning, there's a scene with young Ana de Armas with her father that I just remember hitting all the beats, all the cliches, growing on me too fast, little one, or don't get too big when I come back, okay? I remember in that moment I was like, uh-oh, but then very quickly the action started. But yeah, I'm seeing a lot of people call the plot cliche, and I'm like, sure, it is, definitely, we've seen this kind of thing before, but it's John Wick, isn't it? It's revenge. Wife dies, revenge, that's what John Wick is. It's a little familiar. That's the point of John Wick. They take familiarity and they make it their own. They make it extreme. I don't really see why this is getting flack for its familiarity when that's kind of John Wick's motto at this rate. The thing that separated John Wick from the familiarity in the past was the world building, and this movie does that too. I actually like the way that they kind of showed Ana de Armas' character getting indoctrinated into this world, the way it happened. It actually has a very interesting take on indoctrination as a whole. They have this whole thing with a community of hitmen who build lives there but are still kind of almost cultish. I think the movie actually does explore that in a way that the other John Wick movies didn't. Not an insult to those movies, but I think this movie does have its own angle that I actually was really into. So I'm really confused why people are attacking the familiarity. Yeah, it is familiar, plot wise, I can see it. And yeah, there are a couple things wasted, Norman Reedus is completely wasted. If you're here for him, oops. But I don't know. I thought the story worked. I thought it was effectively engaging. No, I do not think this movie could have existed. I am of the opinion that the John Wick movies could have just stopped at 4. I think chapter 4 was a bar that they will never be able to reach. This movie did not reach that. And Keanu's placement does make it, because the movie's supposed to take place in between chapter 3 and chapter 4, but there's definitely some stuff there that makes you go, are we sure about that? Yeah, there's some rough aspects in this movie, don't get me wrong, but you're here for action. You're here to see Ana de Armas beating the shit out of some goons. That's dope. And the movie delivers on that John Wick action. And I would even go as far as to say is, aside from 4, because chapter 4 is the gold bar in my opinion, that shit was incredible. Aside from that, I would say this is around in the same level as any other John Wick movie in terms of pure enjoyment and adrenaline. I don't really see what makes this maybe it's my least favorite John Wick movie, but it's I think they're in the same levels, where if I went to go back to rewatch every John Wick movie, I would have no problem putting this in there. And Ballerina will probably not be your favorite of this franchise either, but frankly, it feels like we're watching this franchise take shape in ways that I love. The action is so sick in a way that I love from this franchise, and I'm aware that the best of the best is in reshoots, but it still hits, and Ana de Armas does her damnedest to fill some humongous shoes. So I was a fan. I was into this, and I'm going to give Ballerina 8.5 Keanus out of 10. If you think you're gonna like it, just go and see it. Even if you're a little, I was a little skeptical, but even if I would say just go check this out. It's worth watching. So yeah, that's what I got for Ballerina. I was a fan. Let's subscribe and share. Bye bye.